Welcome back to what I think it's called We Are Not Experts in Airplane Building Podcasts. I'm Chris.
I'm Tim.
Hey, Tim, how the hell are you?
I've been busy. Been real busy. How are you?
I'm good. So, to our adoring fans out there, we always say at the beginning, in this case, welcome to episode 11. No, is that how we say it? Of which we're sure there will be more than 11 episodes. And you thought
There
we
you
were
go.
liars last time because, okay, we've published 9 episodes, I think.
Well, we made 9 episodes.
We
Number 9.
actually, yeah, we had a Misking one in like February or something like that. And then on May 6th, we recorded an episode, and I must have been busy getting ready for something because I was working on editing it and got it all uploaded and I think mostly edited. And then a few days ago, I realized I never actually published it. So there is an episode 10. Although if you're seeing this, you've probably listened to or seen episode 10. But for us in real time, Tim and I, which today is November 10th, 2025, which is a significant date for me.
Well, date. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the
Happy birthday.
250th birthday. That's a big one.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is a big one. Happy 250th birthday, United States Marine Corps.
Yep. That's a big one. So anyhow, that means May 6th until November. It's been many, many months. And a lot has changed in the world of not experts building airplanes. And I don't mean just us, but other amateurs that we know. There have been some pretty significant changes. So we didn't put any thought or effort into setting an agenda for this one. Literally, Tim. So Saturday, we said, yeah, we should do one again when we were at the EAA meeting. And then yesterday, Tim said, or maybe it was today, you were like, hey, yeah, we should do it.
Yeah, I think it was this morning. I was asking if you wanted to do another one and when. And
right.
I think you said anytime after 1900, and here we are.
Yep. Yeah. Plenty to talk about for sure. So I'll go first, only to say that from an airplane building perspective, nothing has changed. A lot has changed in my life, but nothing has changed in the Gilbertson Aerofactory, and for good reason, I suppose. I think that having not listened to our previous episodes, but I think that it was pretty clear that I've been putting at the beginning of the year, is putting a lot of effort into growing my business because I have left officially completely the film and television industry. Oh, wearing my John Wick 4.
I see that.
Yeah. One of my wrap gifts from that one. So yeah, it's been over a year since I have, I guess you could say I retired from that, though I'm not collecting any retirement from it, just memories. So that has been the focus of my life for the past many months, and it has gone well. So along with that, growth means hiring, expanding my team. So when you would think that I have more time to get stuff done, actually a lot of my so-called extra time now, even though I'm able to push work off on other people, I have to get them trained and up to speed and make sure that standards are met and everything like that. So there's still quite a bit of work left to do to manage that expansion. But all that means that I will actually be in a place where I'll be able to finish the airplane and enjoy it. So that's really the updates on that. And then a fair amount of travel. I don't travel as much as I used to, and I certainly don't travel as much as Tim anymore. But not work travel anymore, but going out to see one daughter graduate college and another one graduate high school and the other one start college and family weekend and all that awesome stuff that I love. So that is, in a nutshell, what I've been up to the past many months. How about you, Tim?
I've been busy as well. First off, welcome back. I know everybody's going to be thrilled to see you or at least hear you on the podcast, because I get the question a whole bunch of where's Chris and when's Chris coming back. So there he is. See, I found him. He's right there. He hasn't gone away. Lots of personal changes, some recently, some good, some not so good. But, the airplane build goes on. I've been posting videos. I think lots of people know that. On the personal side, my daughter has decided that the military is the path for her. And while it started out that she was following me and going to try and be air crew in the Air Force, she took a 90-degree turn at some point, and it looks like she's going to be joining the United States Marine Corps.
Yet. She made the right
I have
turn.
no shortage of crayon jokes. She's going to hear all of them. But I'm proud of her, and I'm happy for her. And as far as the airplane goes, it's been busy. I can't even remember when we did this last if I had gotten the fuselage kit yet or not. But I have, and a lot's happened. It has started to look like a fuselage. It is progressing nicely. It has already been put together once, taken apart, and now it is back together somewhat again. So hang on a second. I got to throw something at something. There we go. Anyhow, distractions as they are. Lots of stuff has been going on with that. I just had a video released this morning that was covering the tail cone going back on, a lot of the structure stuff getting riveted, overcoming some more problems because those never stop. There's always problems to be had. And then there's another video that is already produced and scheduled to release Wednesday early evening, I think. And that's going to go over some of the custom stuff that I've been doing lately because, I can't refrain from cutting big, scary holes in the airplane that probably shouldn't do, but where's the fun in that?
There's so much to catch up on. When we took our long hiatus from creating podcasts, you didn't take a hiatus from building an airplane. I think that where we left off, you were months deep into seeing how much extra work you could put into the wings while you waited for the fuselage kit. But we were getting close. But it was still another, I would say, at least a month or more until your fuselage arrived, because we recorded on May the 6th. And I think it was like mid-June that your fuselage kit was supposed to arrive.
I think you're right. And I am very surprised at how much progress I've managed to make on that thing in such a short period of time. Because I've also, in addition to the airplane building and all the personal life stuff, I haven't slowed down with work. If anything, it's gotten busier. So I've been traveling back-to-back trips, squeezing in building time wherever I can. And for anybody that doesn't realize how I achieve some of this, when I am home, I work from home, but that doesn't mean I can just unfortunately go out to the garage and spend all day out there working on the plane. I actually have to work. So to get around it, I wake up at 4:30 in the morning most mornings, and I go out there and put a few hours in on the plane before I clock into work. Then I work, and then I usually go out there and spend my lunch out there, back to work, and then I clock out of work when I can, and then I usually spend a good chunk of the early evening out there, and then I do it all over again the next day. So it's the only way it's going to get done. That the plane's definitely not going to build itself. I wish it would fund itself, though.
Yeah. Look, you have gotten so much done on that fuselage in really the short time you've had it. And I can attest that you, to the fact that your work trips have been big ones, like long ones, far away. And when we talked the other day about starting to record podcasts again, in my head, I was like, yeah, because we need to at least get one more episode in before you're done with your airplane, because the fuselage has gone. I mean, the amount of progress on the fuselage in that amount of time has really been bananas. I mean, it's
been great.
Yeah. So for our audience, this past weekend, I went out and went and checked it out, but I don't think that I had been to Tim's shop since the spring when we put the bottom skins on his wings, maybe sometime like that. Maybe one more time after that, but certainly not. I don't think I've been out there since the fuselage kit has arrived. Oh, no, that's not true. A few weeks ago.
You came and saw the forward substructure by
Yeah, the
itself.
forward section, which is super cool. But that section, that first section, probably represents 3/4 of the total time you have in the fuselage. But if anybody looks at it today, you have the whole canoe in there, the whole
Yep.
canoe, and not just Clico together, but like put together, taken apart, parts prep, prime, Cerakote, whatever, and now riveting it all back together for like final assembly of the canoe, which is wild and very cool.
Yeah. And some systems are starting to go in, and to me, that's cool. And I think part of the reason it's gone so quickly is it's just, it's kind of intoxicating to see a section come together, and it's like, oh, well, if I just do this next thing, I can put this on, or I can do this. And it's been going so quickly. It's like, well, I've got another hour in me. I can do this. I can put this on. Or if I just change this, this will look so much better.
Yeah.
So
The system
it
stuff
just
is
keeps going.
the system stuff is the stuff that I think starts to make it real cool, really cool, or make it real. Um, it was described to me before I ever started this that somebody said, "Oh, it's like adult Legos," and it departs from adult Legos at the point that you're putting on stuff that's part of like making it actually fly. And so an airfoil, a wing, right? I If you put the whole thing together and push it off a cliff, it would generate lift, but it wouldn't
It'll
fly.
fall with style. Yeah.
Exactly, right? But when you start like what you'd already done, like kind of plumbing and wiring the wings and doing all that stuff, and uh, like your do you have a servo out there in the wing, whatever? But now
No,
most
I'm still
recently
missing servo, but it's wired for it.
yeah, but everything like you just done recently with the fuel pump and all that, that's real. Like then it's not Legos anymore because the Legos will never actually be the thing. It will just be a bunch of blocks that look like an airplane, but it won't
Yep.
actually fly.
I I had to get real mindful real quick because, as you mentioned, the fuel pumps are in, they're plumbed, and midway through working on the fuel selector valve, I had it sitting there, and I was, drilling out stuff and making holes for things and clearancing things, and I realized I'm making metal shavings, and it's like I can't be doing that now because now I have actual systems that are going in, and they're going to go in permanently, and I have to be mindful of not, contaminating the fuel lines and
Mm-hmm.
not letting this happen because this is now these are real systems in parts of a flyable airplane. It was an awakening moment when I realized no, this is for real. So yeah, the fuel pumps are in, the fuel selector valve is in its little custom made spot, and that came out really nice. And then I don't mind letting the cat out of the bag on this one because the video will be out in just a few days, and I don't know when this is going to post or not. But I cut a big scary
Next
hole
May.
in the forward. Yeah, it might be next May. I cut a big scary hole in the left forward lower side skin of the fuselage. Not one that Vans calls for, not one that's in the plans. It is next to the fuel pumps that are there. And that is so that later on, when I do annual inspections, when I have to clean out the fuel filter or change it or do any maintenance to the brake lines that are in there, the rudder pedals, the fuel pump, I can just take that access panel off and stick my hands in there rather than having to do a handstand under the console to gain access later on, which I might be able to do now. But when I reach the age of, 60, 65, 49 and a half, I might not be able to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So it seemed like a
As
good
somebody
mod to
who's
me.
as somebody who's getting close to 60, I appreciate that you've done that. Um, we don't have any visuals to show, but you can certainly watch Jim's video on this when it comes out. But when I was looking at it the other day, that is a really tight space that you are going to have to get into and inspect and service the fuel filter and any other components in there. And I have to say, I mean, you were so worried about doing this thing, and when you showed me the pictures of it's done, it looks like it's factory built.
I
But
appreciate that.
yeah,
That was
I
the
mean,
goal.
it looks clean. I it just when you were talking about it a moment ago, I just had a question about. So how do I describe this? So inside you have a sort of a double plate on the inside, so that you have something for the cover to mount to, right? that ring.
Yes. Yep.
Um, when you attach the ring, did you attach it with some Pro Seal in addition to? I'm assuming that you use flush rivets to put it in
I
place.
did not put any Pro Seal on it. I thought about it, just to make it more sealed.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to get, if I put any weather stripping on that panel at all, it'd have to be so super thin to get it to sit flush and nice.
Hmm.
So any sealing I get from the ring would have been negated by putting the panel on anyhow. That,
Hmm.
and since I already Cerakoted that entire inside of that skin, I'm not sure Pro Seal would have even
Oh,
stuck
I
to it.
see. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just the ring. It is completely riveted on. It seems extremely tight. I'm betting no water or air can get in through the ring and the skin. Now the inspection panel, I don't know. If I fly through rain, I might get a little wet in there. Hopefully not. Um,
Yeah.
if it really comes down to it, I could probably thin membrane of some rubber or some sort of a gasket to put on that thing. But
Hmm.
I'm not the first one to do this mod. There are others out there flying, and nobody else has
Yeah.
had an issue with it, as far as I know yet. There hasn't been a structural issue. Some people have actually talked to Van himself about it. They didn't have an issue with it. I actually posted some pictures on the RV8 Facebook group earlier
Hmm.
today,
Hmm.
knowing full well it was probably going to stir up a hornet's nest of, why would you do that and everything. And for the most part, everybody likes it. Everybody thinks it's a great idea. Several wish they had done it. One person did make the comment that, in 10 years of flying he's never needed to access his fuel pump. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to access it every year, but I
Hmm.
mean, to each their own. Um, but yeah, I'm happy I did it. It was terrifying doing it. I mean, at the end of the day, if I screwed up the skin, I could always order a new skin. I could always redo it. So it wasn't like the end of the world, but it would have been a whole lot of work getting a new skin completely prepped and ready to go back in there.
Sure.
So
My thought about the Pro Seal wasn't even necessarily about like weatherproofing it, but um, just about adding a little bit more rigidity there. Although just having
oh,
that
okay.
that ring in place and that doubler in there, I think more than compensates for the material that's been removed. I was only
It
thinking
is
about it.
super stiff.
Yeah,
Um, I'm surprised at how stiff it is. It doesn't
she
seem
said.
like it is weakened. Yeah. I don't, it didn't seem to weaken it any. One person who did the similar mod, he did a different shape panel, said he ended up having to put an angle across the top instead of just a ring to add
Mm-hmm.
some stiffness. So when he cut his skin, it curled out a little bit on him.
Mm.
But his panel is much longer than mine and
Mm-hmm.
skinnier. I think that length might have made a difference in it. Mine is literally a standard wing inspection panel that I just rounded the second side to.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean it looks great, and um, I know you're waiting on some parts right now, so you had nothing but time to get that done. Anyways.
Yep. And actually I got those today. Not really in, but they're in place. I received my brake line kit from TS Flight Lines. So, uh, it was interesting. I got the box with the lines in it, and there was 6 lines in there and a bunch of fittings.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I have it somewhere here in front of me. Yep, here we go. That's the paperwork that came in the package. And all it says is you can go to their website and download the instructions for whatever product it is you bought, except they don't have anything on their website for RV8s because they're so customizable. They don't typically keep stock stuff in there. They will make you stuff. They know exactly what lengths you need. If you tell them you want a fuselage brake line kit and you tell them what options you have, they'll make it. But it came with no directions. There were no directions to download. So I emailed them to ask about it. And then I got the response from the guy I originally talked to saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, you don't remember me emailing you this?" And what he meant is he had sent me a few pictures of the fittings and which fitting goes where. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, I do." So that was my directions. But it's easy enough once you see where they go to figure it out. So that really wasn't that bad. But yeah, it was not a whole lot. Um, but I'm glad they're in there. They are really, really nice quality. And um, it made what would have been a bigger job a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise you have to make those lines out of hard line. And there's a lot of fairly complicated bends to get them up the gear towers and then out and then to a bulkhead fitting. And then what Vans ends up giving you for their part of the kit, from the bulkhead fitting down to the pedals, they give you these like plastic Teflon brake lines, which I'm sure they work great, but I just don't like the idea of those kind of lines being the sole source of brake pressure in my aircraft. So I now have all, stainless braided, braidable coated, really nice lines. So that was nice. I needed those just so I could get them run through the gear towers where they're going to go, because that was kind of the last thing I was waiting on, so we could put those forward side skins on.
Mm-hmm.
Because once those are on, access inside those towers is extremely limited. Because the one mod I did not do that lots of other people do is enlarge one of those holes so you can have better access in those gear towers with a removable panel.
Yeah.
I chose not to do that because in my mind that is a very structural piece, and I didn't want to modify that thing at all just for a little bit more access room. I might
Yeah.
regret that later on, but
I don't know.
so
I
yeah,
mean, just the way that I'm likely to land the plane, I need as much
that's right.
structure as possible there. No
So
compromising that. But you're very concerned, I guess, with making sure that you have the highest quality brake lines. And I would say that that's not very Ricky Bobby of you.
no,
I just want to go
not
fast.
really. Not as long go fast. You ain't first, you're last. Um, well, and I made my own fuel lines, and I am contemplating replacing at least one of them, if not two of them, with
Mm-hmm.
lines from ES Flight Lines. Again, they're expensive, but the whole peace of mind thing. As much as I will cut corners with a lot of things, I am not going to cut corners with safety, especially when it comes to fire in the cockpit when I'm stuck in there with it. There's one line in particular that comes out of the valve. It has to make a fairly sharp bend to get down through the hole in the gear tower and then straight over to the fuel pump. And that one has just been kicking my butt. I've made that line at least 2 or 3 times so far. The latest one is acceptable, but it's still not perfect. It's almost slightly too tight where it makes its sharp bend. Like, it's not
Mm-hmm.
kinked, but it's probably not far off from wanting to kink. So I will probably replace that one. The fuel return line looks really good, other than now that I have a bulkhead fitting on the firewall, I made it too long for the
Mm-hmm.
temporary fitting I had in there, so I have to shorten that one. But I think that one's probably okay. Plus, that one's just the return line. I don't think it'll be as bad. And then later on, because I'm going with fuel injection, I will have 2 lines going to each tank. So I've got 2 more sets of lines that have to make it from the tanks inside to the back of that valve. And again, I will probably use TS Flight Lines to just make those out of braided lines for me. They're more flexible, less likely to crack. It's an expense, but it's one that I think I'm willing to take.
Yeah. Yeah. So far off for me to even think about that stuff, but I mean,
I think so, but
looking what you had to
those
do to
fabs don't get that too
make those
far.
lines, the fuel lines that you already made, that is extremely challenging. And as slowly as my build has gone to this point, I'm probably going to get to the point where will be more than happy to throw money at safety and speed or efficiency in expediting the build process.
Well,
Um,
honestly, the money I spent, I probably wasted it on just wasted fuel line already with all the times I've had to remake it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of scrap tubing on my floor right now.
So there's something else new that ended up in your shop over the summer.
Oh, that's
That
right.
yeah, yeah, because
Surprise.
yeah, I mean, we had talked before that we'd had conversations about that at the podcast before, that you're trying to find a power plant, trying to find helicopter engines on eBay.
Yeah, that worked out so well. Yeah, I had been actively looking to see if I could find a suitable used donor engine as a core that could be rebuilt. Originally, I did find that helicopter engine, and had bought it and won it on eBay and then got ghosted by the guy that sold it. So I guess that turned into a happy accident. Over the summer, wasn't even that long ago. I think it was just barely over a month and a half ago now, maybe 2
Yeah.
months ago.
Yeah. It's
I
felt
finally
like summer
found
right up until like today.
it has. Yeah. Today it's cold. I finally found what I thought was a suitable donor engine. It was again through eBay. It was a salvage yard in Phoenix, Arizona. And the more I found out about the engine, the happier I got about it. It has, what does it have? It has less than 500 hours on it since it was rebuilt. It did not time out. It did not have a prop strike. It is a IO 360 A1B6 engine. So it is a fuel injected 200 horsepower angle valve Lycoming 360. It is the hot rod engine outside of the 390 that you can buy from Vans to put into the RV8. So that was awesome. Like I said, it didn't have a prop strike. It didn't time out. It wasn't making metal. It was being sold because the airframe it had been put onto timed out for airframe fatigue. So the salvage yard got it and was parting out the entire airframe. So it was theoretically a perfectly good motor. So I managed to buy it with all of the accessories attached, which a lot of them I either won't use or can't use. I'm not planning to use magnetos, so those are up for grabs if anybody needs magnetos. It has a 24 volt starter on it. That's not going to work for me, so that had to come off and can go away. It's got a full baffle kit on it and exhaust for a Scottish Bulldog, which is the type of plane it came off of. What else was on there? It has an alternator, but again, it's 24 volts. But even more importantly, it has a prop governor on it. So it's one more thing that if it's serviceable, I don't need. And when I got the engine, I thought about tearing it down and rebuilding it, but finding out, how little time it had, getting a logbook for it and looking into it, I contacted, thanks to you, Savvy Aviation, and I got their book. I got Mike Bush's book, read that, probably looked at all of his webinars, and got me another borescope with a articulating head, and took some pictures inside of each of the cylinders and sent it off to them and talked to them about it. And they did a one-time evaluation for me. And in their opinion, they believe the engine is a perfect candidate to keep in service. Just preserve it. Don't need to tear into it or do anything else. And when I'm ready, put it on the plane, get it set up to go. And I've theoretically got a perfectly good engine. So yeah, there's an engine sitting in my garage right now next to the fuselage, hooked up to a dry bot, trying to keep it as dry and corrosion free as humanly possible. I have pickled it. It's got the anti-rust pickling oil in it. I've fogged each of the cylinders. I got desiccant containers in the spark plug cylinders. I got desiccant packs shoved into the intake and other areas. And then I've got that dry bot pumping dry air all through the crank system. So yeah, lots has changed.
Dude, that's amazing.
It's been good.
So in a few days, we're going to start riveting the rest of that canoe, I think, right? Is that the
Yes.
plan for the weekend?
That is hopefully the plan. I get back, we'll get the systems done, and then it's time to rivet.
So I was thinking when we were talking about that a few minutes ago, just about systems making it real, not Legos and blah, blah, blah. And it occurred to me, once that canoe gets all riveted up, you have very few Legos left to play with. The whole rest of your build is about to become systems type stuff, other than the canopy and like canopy skirt and stuff like that, which will be huge, like very time consuming. But then it really is just systems, rigging, wiring, panel, firewall forward. Like you're almost done, like with metal shavings forever.
Yeah, it's the whole 90% done, 90% to go thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hit me just a few days ago. I was out there, wasn't even working on anything. I just looked back at it, at the whole canoe coming back together and realizing it's not coming apart again. I'm going to have a full-size fuselage in that garage now until it finally moves on to a hangar somewhere. And then, yeah, it also hit me that I'm nearly done with a lot of the big stuff. I mean, there's still lots of metal parts on the shelves for lots of little things, and I'm sure that'll keep me busy for a while. But we are quickly getting to the point where things are going to slow down as I wait to buy the really expensive bits that have to start going in there. I am going to change the main landing gear, so I'm going to buy an aftermarket set of those. That's going to slow me down a little bit. The advanced control module from Advanced Flight Systems for Dynon, I got to buy that, their jumpstart kit, so I can basically have the hub and the brain to start wiring all the avionics up. Things will probably get busy once I can finally get that stuff, because there'll be a lot of time spent running wires and hooking things up and
I
hopefully
think
not releasing smoke.
I think when it's time to buy that, when you're ready to buy the ACM, that should be a road trip, because they're like Dynon and Advanced Flight Systems I think they're right there on Aurora Airport with vans.
Yep, they are.
Yeah, they're just a few doors down. That would be, you haven't gone to visit vans yet, have you?
I have.
Oh,
I've
you
been
have?
there. Yep.
Yeah.
I got to go there one time. I have not gotten to fly with them, which I don't think they'll actually give you an incentive ride if you've already bought a kit. It's like they've got you hooked, so they know better. But
Yeah. Yeah. Dude,
but yeah,
that's
I have been
cool.
there. But
Yeah.
it would be worthwhile to do another road trip. But yeah, it's
that reminds me of something else I want to talk about. It would be worth it to do it for a road trip, to pick up your stuff, stop by Vans, and then go visit Ryan, who has a
oh yeah,
flying
because
airplane now,
Ryan has a flying airplane now.
which is
He is
crazy.
actually Ryan Flies now. He's
Yeah.
no longer Ryan Build. No, that was awesome. I am so happy for him. That is so cool to see that come together. It's not a huge community of YouTube builders that are active in building and, you know, are carrying on the videos all the way through. Some people start and then they never finish, or
Yeah.
they never finish documenting it, because, you know, this is a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Videoing this and editing it and putting videos out there, even crappy low quality ones like the ones I throw out there, it still takes a lot of extra work on top of the work you do to the plane. And his videos are really, really well put together. I don't even want to know what he puts into his editing time and everything else.
Yeah, Ryan's videos, there's a lot of production value there. And I think for me, one of the most exciting parts about seeing him fly that thing is I've watched a good handful. Like you said, there aren't a whole lot of people documenting their build, but I think anybody that I've seen, any channel that I've watched where they've completed and flown the airplane, I started watching them when they were deep into the build. And so Ryan is much more than any of those. Ryan's our contemporary. He started a little bit before me. You started a little bit after me. And so having seen Ryan's build from the very beginning, from doing like the van sign and the practice airfoil kit all the way through to completion, that's pretty exciting. That makes it, well, very real for him, but um, real for me. I know because of where we're at, I know a lot of people who've built airplanes, and I can go see them and touch them, and I know they fly them all the time, but I didn't see them build them. I wasn't there at the beginning,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, you're vested in it because you've watched this thing grow and
Yeah.
then it flies. So it was incredible to see. I knew it was going to happen really quickly. And when I finally saw that video pop up, it was just so gratifying to see that, you know, he finally got it in the air, and it's like, that's just awesome.
I
So
kind of like the way he did it, like from a YouTuber standpoint. He didn't do like 5 videos of like, oh, we're getting real close, I think I'm going to fly it. You just were watching
yeah,
it come together, and you and I were kind of talking like, I bet he's flown it by now. Like, and so when he did finally fly it, that's just what the video was. It wasn't a lot of, it wasn't clickbaity.
it
They were
wasn't built
just,
up in hype. It
yeah,
was, you know, the
yeah.
inspections happened, everything else, and then it went quiet, and we're like, yeah, he probably flew, and then out comes the video. So I hope to do something similar. I don't, when it's time to fly this for the first time, there's going to be a very small group of people that knows when it's happening, and that's going to be
Mm-hmm.
there for it to happen. And I'm going to keep it about what has to happen to make it safe and and real. And then the video stuff will happen
Yeah.
later. So
I did think it was super cool that he had a chase plane for that first flight.
yeah,
That
that
was
that's awesome.
definitely high production value for a first flight. That
Well, that
didn't
too.
that had no bearing on his like safety flight, because a chase plane that was doing good photography and everything like that, but Ryan's just doing his job flying that plane for the
Focusing
first
on
time.
flying the plane. Yep.
Yeah.
When I did flight tests in the C5M, a lot of our first flights for things or high risk flights, we always had a chase plane.
Hmm.
It would go up and, it can see the things that you cannot see, or, it might notice something happening that you're not paying attention to because you're so wrapped up in, the test cards and what has to happen next that you may not see the big picture of, hey, there's smoke billowing out of your left wing or, something obvious. So I totally see the value of having a chase plane and yeah, freeing you up to just focus
Yeah.
on flying the plane. So that would be a good thing to have. So you need to hurry up and get yours done so that I can have a good chase plane when it's time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I might have to go back and look at it again, but I think that my impression of it was um, that his first landing on his first flight, like his first landing his plane, was butter. Like
I think
yeah,
so.
yeah. So
I don't think mine's
just
going to
super,
work.
I'm
Everything's been
super
bouncing.
excited for him. Yeah. Let's see. Well, you've had some flying videos, right? And you're
Yeah, I
documented
haven't
your
flown in a
landings.
while. It's been like 4 months since I've flown. So
Oh, it's
I
been
need to
much
go get
longer
an
than that.
instructor
Yeah.
and get the training wheels back on and go knock the dust off.
Yeah.
My biannual, as weird as it sounds, is going to be coming up in June. Um, so I can't believe I've already been flying that long. I have a plan for that. If I can swing it, and if I can make it happen with time off and everything else, I'm going to try and go get my float plane rating.
In
So
Florida at
that will
what's the name of that
in
place?
Florida, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like Jack Brown's or
Yeah,
something like
that's
that.
it. Yeah.
So they've got a PA-18 that you can do it in. And that sounds like my cup of tea right there.
Hmm.
So if I can do it, I'll try and go down there and do that, and that'll reset my biannual because it'll be a actual check ride, and it'll be something else cool to have. And
Oh,
besides, who
super
knows?
cool.
The next plane might have the ability to have floats on it. You never know.
Hey, did
With
that
nobody to
guy
tell me now, I can have another plane.
at the EAA meeting this week say that he's starting an RV-15?
He did.
He kind of I didn't understand if he actually had a kit on order, but it was the
I
RV.
don't know
It
if he
was
did or
basically
not.
the RV-15 that made him show up and start hanging
Yep.
out with people who build airplanes. That's cool.
It is. It is a cool plane. I love it. If I could afford it, it would be awesome. But that thing's going to be too expensive for my blood. If there is a second plane, it'll be a much cheaper version of that.
Hmm. I mean, things could change. Things could change in your life where that's not expensive anymore.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is very true. I'm coming from the point of view right now where I'm trying to fund the one airplane that I do have. So, but once it's there, it won't be so bad. But next is making sure it's got a place to go.
Mm-hmm.
So don't know for sure what airport it's going to be at. Conroe
Yeah.
would be nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of support there. So
Did you ever end up calling that dude Amit or whatever his name
I
is?
thought you were going to call him.
Oh, let me
That was going
read
to
the
be my next
text
question.
here.
Call him.
Let's see how. Let's see.
For those that don't understand what we're talking about right now,
Oh yeah, I
there's a
kind of
potential.
glanced at your. I kind of glanced at your response to that.
Well, now it's definitely going to have to be you because I'm flying out in the morning. So
Yep.
maybe if we can give him a call tomorrow. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
we
going
we are
to
Cheyenne,
Cheyenne.
Wyoming.
Yeah,
Yep,
I like Cheyenne.
got to go work. Uh, there's a I've been there before when I was missile maintenance way back in the early
Mhm.
days before I flew. I went there for work a few times because F.E. Warren Air Force Base is there, but I'm going to work at the guard base out at the airport because they have a C-130 unit.
Mm.
and they're currently down. So we're going to go see if we can't get them fixed and get them back up and running. But yeah, the other stuff we were talking about, me and Chris are looking at a potential hangar. There's one available that is large enough for 2 airplanes, which is convenient because it's twice the price of a single hangar. Um, Neither of us need one at this moment, but if the right hangar came along, it would definitely make sense to have it and be able to hold on to it. So, we'll see.
Yeah, I'll give him a call tomorrow. I that was my fault. I kind of just glanced at
Oh,
your
that's all right.
response while I was dealing with some other
I would
stuff.
have, but I got busy with work today and getting ready for this trip, and then getting the rest of that video edited and ready to go for Wednesday. So it got busy real quick. So I didn't even think about it. But
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah,
I mean, if it's something that we could take and hold on to indefinitely, like it's not a short-term sort of temporary thing, to me that would be worth it. Um, it would be worth it just to be in that location and have that locked down. And then from
yep,
a building standpoint, I am so crowded in my shop right now with all the stuff that I brought back from Washington, my dad's motorcycles and everything like that, that anything that I do in there, I'm tripping all over myself, which makes it, you kind of, it's no fun when you're trying to build and you're perpetually frustrated. It doesn't, that's how
no,
extra
I,
holes
I
get
know.
made.
I overcrowd myself all the time in there with junk and everything piling up, and then I got to stop and clear it all out, and then it kind of encroaches again. So I totally get it. That, and I mean, it's the ultimate man cave. So
Oh, for sure. And I mean, we talked about this too. Um, the wealth of knowledge that lives like every single day at that airport when it comes to building, not only building airplanes, but specifically building RVs and
yep,
and like the one guy that holds all the knowledge has not only built an RV, two of them, but he's built an RV8. And so, yeah, having that level of expertise like at arm's length would be pretty great. I mean, I'm pretty close to that right now, but anytime in the past that I've wanted to take it, I'd throw it in my truck and it's 15, 20-minute drive to get out there and ask Joe how I messed it up.
yeah. I need to see if I can get Joe to come out here at some point and look over the build to date. Although I'm a little terrified too that he'd find something horrible and be like, "That's terrible. You can't have that."
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've taken some of my stuff to him, when I was like specifically, I remember when I was building the fuel tanks, um, and just wanted an expert opinion in thinking that I was not tidy enough in what I did. Um, and I took them, threw them in the truck and took them to Joe's hangar. And the first thing he said was, "You do really meticulous work." I'm like, well, that's kind of a relief because I feel like I'm
You're
really
like, I
messing
don't.
it up right now. Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
it's
the
work
good
in
news is
progress though.
if there's something wrong, Joe will know it. And not only will he let you know, but he'll know. He just he's yeah. I mean, anytime you ever stop by his hangar, it's like airplane building story time, like real practical stuff that you can use. You know,
Every time we do the burger burn and his plane's out there, I go wandering around his RV8 drooling and looking at how he did this or how he did that or what's
yeah,
different from, what it was like when he built his versus how ours are now. And um, yeah, that was interesting at the meeting. One of the things they were giving away was a jig for an RV8 fuselage.
yeah.
Somebody had one that didn't need anymore and they were getting rid of it. And I'm not sure when that changed because at some point you did need to build that jig and that fixture to build the
Hmm.
fuselage on, but you do not need that now. It just tells you need a table, suitable work surface, and there's nothing jigged about it because everything is pre-punched and perfectly aligned. And I can attest to that because that half of that bulkhead that I had to replace because I accidentally drilled double holes in it. When I got the replacement in, I just final sized the holes and dimpled the ones that were there, and I only had to drill the 3 tabs that line up with the longerons, and it fit perfectly. Like it was meant to go in there because it was.
Yeah.
So no digging required, and it just kind of slid right into place.
You just reminded me of a video that I watched over the weekend from a channel that I don't know. I maybe watched one video of his before. Um, Hoover's Hangar. I think he has two channels.
With the RV8 video he just released,
Yeah. Did you watch it?
I watched it today.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
It was awesome to see. I was thrilled to see so much love to the RV8 and all the formation flying and everything. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's so
That was
cool.
great. But what you reminded me of specifically was the guy that he was flying with who didn't build the airplane. Um, and Hoover was asking him, so can like anybody build this, and how long does it take? And and what he said was, oh yeah, 2,500, 3,000 hours with no experience and that sort of thing. But then he said, he goes, like the newer kits, like the RV 14 and the RV 10, those are all pre-punched. And so in his mind, people like you and I are out here with jigs and making it all up. And actually,
Yeah.
there's almost nothing that you can build anymore from vans that requires you to do all that. It's all pre-punched and fairly
Yep.
idiot proof.
And so I just caught my builder's log up. You reminded me of that because I was way behind. I
Mm-hmm.
usually update it when I update the videos because it's just easier now. So I don't update it daily like I did. And I'm sure I'm missing time
Yeah.
that I'm not accounting for because I'm just going off of recorded video and what I think the time is when I go update my times. But as
Mm-hmm.
of right now, total on the plane, I'm up to like 580 hours of build time.
I think also you might be um, you might be to the point of matching or passing me on the total number of videos,
Uh,
like
It'll be
episodes.
152 as of Wednesday.
152, and I think that I mean, it's been so long since I've 152.
Neck and
Wait, can
neck.
that be right? Yeah, my latest video episode. Okay,
When did it come out?
so the metadata for that is 152, but the thumbnail says that it's episode 1512 because it's been out for 190 days. Oh boy, I don't want to. I'll have to. Well, I'm just going to live with that thumbnail. So when I you make my thumbnails with Pixlr, I think, and so when I open up Pixlr, the last one that I did is there, and I just make to the graphics. I just make a quick edit to the graphics and then drop a new photo into the thumbnail. So it's pretty quick.
I
And
do the
so
same thing with
apparently,
Adobe Express.
yeah. So apparently, when I went to change the number 151 to the number 152, I just added a two to the end of it. So 1,000 episode 1,512. You're never going to catch up to that.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I do the same thing. I've got my standard template for my videos with my title screen and the outro and all that music and all that. And I just plug the videos into the middle and I just have to remember to go change. It says XX for what episode it is at the beginning. There's
Yeah.
several out there. If you go watch them, it still says XX because I never went in and changed it or I forgot in the middle of the video and I'll watch it on YouTube like, oh, I forgot
Oh
that.
yeah, that's true. So your opening graphic with the cool music, you put the episode number on there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't because I forget to change it.
Yeah.
So it just says
So
XX.
it's you think I would have thought of this, but uh none of that changes in my videos. It's on the thumbnail, but the video itself, the intro is always exactly so I don't make any changes to the intro, just drop in the video like you or you maybe like me, like over time have just turned it into a quick factory sort of thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah, where it's
As quick as I can. To include, I use the hell out of AI now.
oh really for
Chat
your
GPT.
uh-huh.
Chat GPT writes all of my titles, all of my descriptions. We have an ongoing conversation. It remembers. exactly what I'm doing and what I'm working on, and it's ready
Uh-huh.
for the next thing. Like if I open it up right now and I tell it, hey, I'm ready for video number 153, it's going to ask me, oh, did you finish the modification you did for
No kidding.
this or that? You want to add this? Do you want, it knows exactly what I'm doing. I talked to it about paint schemes for the plane. So when I throw other things in there, oh, that's going to look really good with, this paint scheme you've got going on, or, whatever. It remembers, all the other conversations we had, and it just constantly uses that to keep learning and helping edit and do other things. So I'll go in and tell it a brief idea of what I got done, and it'll come up with a title, the description, a pinned comment for me to throw on there, hashtags, and then it'll usually give me a few choices like with the title, and then it'll tailor everything else based off of that.
That's very
It,
cool.
it
I used
it's a huge time saver
I use ChatGPT a ton for work stuff, and I haven't used it at all. I don't think at all in video stuff. Hadn't even thought about it. But as you're talking about that, um, what a great way to keep your build log up to date. Like just because do you type into ChatGPT or do you talk?
to it. Yep.
Yeah.
I just
So
use the
the
mic and
right. So talking to it and just and so when I talk to it, uh, I go, I'm not succinct. I rant and I riff and I just go,
yeah, it
get
doesn't care.
get all my like
It'll
disorganized thoughts off my chest and now make sense of that. And so I use it for work stuff. If I'm working through a problem or I have to communicate with a client or something like that, I'll say for context, blah, all of this stuff, and then put that together in my voice, like, um, in brief, direct, friendly communication. This is how I write emails now. But for a build log, that's actually that would be great. Like just the text portion of a build log, because I agonize over words and detail and stuff like that. And
yeah, it'll spit
which is
everything
why
out
you
and
don't
you just
update your build log. Yeah, very cool.
yeah, I don't put a whole lot into my build log anymore. It's a real brief description from the video description, and then I tag the video in it now, and
Yeah,
I throw a
that's what
bunch of
mine
pictures
is.
in it.
The EAA build log. That's what I did. Is I sat down when I finally decided, because you get these threatening emails from EAA. You haven't updated. It's going to be deleted.
You've been inactive. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So when I did, and that's what I did, I just went through my entire video catalog, linked the video, pasted the description, and added the hours. Because and that's probably when I started doing that. That's when I started in my video descriptions, started saying this work on this day, this many hours. Um, so then I can just pull that directly into the build log. But I'm looking forward to getting back into doing it. But there's a big bunch of work that needs to be done in the shop to even make it serviceable. And then it's not like I got that much stuff really to do on the wings. Finish up the left flap, of course. That's what I'm going to name this airplane, left flap.
Left flap.
Finish up the left flap. Finish putting those aileron push tubes back together again, with the many rounds of folded rivets on that. And then, I mean, repair the leaks in the fuel tanks, and then start plumbing the wings, and then putting the bottom skins on. What's
Yeah,
that?
you don't have far to go.
What's that? That's
You've
like
got
in Ryan's world. That's like half a day,
yeah,
half of one video.
you've got like a month and a half worth of
Yeah,
work to do on those wings. Not
yeah,
counting the
yeah.
wingtip, because that's a whole nother ass pain. Although I can't remember who it was. Slinker was just working on his wingtips, and he made it look so much easier than all the trouble I went through. And I'm like, man, I don't remember it being that easy.
I have not kept up with his recently since he started doing his lights, but I just like from the thumbnails. He's he would did he do the piano hinge or
No, he went with nut plates attached to the wingtips.
right, right.
Definitely made it, I think, a lot easier than what I attempted to do.
But when we were watching that
It looks
Hoover's
nice.
video, yeah, Hoover's video and that guy's RV8, which is a beautiful RV8 in the Thunderbird paint scheme.
It is.
But that camera, that wing mounted camera, I kept looking at the joint between the wing and the wingtip on that. I'm like, that would look a lot cleaner without all those screws.
It does. It looks a lot
Yeah,
cleaner.
yeah. Let's
That's the
see.
best part of some of this stuff is when it's done and it's painted, like that access panel that I just put in, all that
Yeah,
work I did to the wingtips, all those closeouts I did. If it's done right, it should just disappear and you're just not going to really notice it. You're just going to notice, hopefully, that it's clean and you don't know why, unless you see it sitting next to another one and you go, that's different.
yeah,
Hopefully, it doesn't like jump out at you. It just, like you said, it disappears. The wingtip blends into the wing like it should, or, that access panel looks like fans intended for it to be there all along.
yeah, yeah. That was a comparison I was going to make. I mean, it looks factory built. It doesn't look amateur built. I mean,
Well, it was a
those
factory
things don't
access
look
panel.
amateur built. I think both of us and most other builders, the empennage kit will look amateur built.
Oh yeah, yeah. There will be some things there that I know now. When I go look at other planes, if I want to see what it's really like, I need to start at the TAS.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
see what you started like.
Yeah,
Unless you bought it from somebody else already finished and they knew what they were doing.
yeah. Well, I'm glad that we were both able to make time this evening to do this, and
Okay.
yeah. So 6-7 months, we'll hit another episode, and
Yeah,
when we do that episode, we'll introduce it by telling them that we actually recorded this one back in November and never published it. It's still sitting.
I never published it. It's sitting in the can with the other unpublished one.
Yeah,
It's a lost one.
exactly. So I'll get that. I'll get that handled. We'll get these out to our adoring fans around the world. So,
There you go.
anyways, I'm looking forward to this weekend. But have a safe trip up to Cheyenne, and
Oh yeah.
see you on the next one.
I will see you on the next one.